So the long story is that if you go way back to when Paul Decker was a brand new youth pastor in his very first ministry position, he was in Little Falls, New York, and he went to a pastor's meeting, and this young crazy guy named Chris Deemer came there, and Paul was very impressed by the model for campus ministry that Chris Deemer was presenting. And it made a real impression on him, such that years later, when he was a senior pastor in Buffalo, New York, he thought, man, we need a campus ambassador here in Buffalo. And so he reached out to our national director at the time. And this is about the same time that God gave me my calling into ministry. And so she said, so Tim, what do you think about Buffalo? I said, well, I'm a Giants fan. What do you think I think about Buffalo? And so I went out and I met Paul and I checked out the church, and I just saw a number of things that I kind of liked. The home church that we had in Oneonta was just a fabulous place to bring college students into. And I just saw a number of things that I thought, I think we could recreate something similar here. And so I said, yeah, I'd like to give this a try. And so I was dating Karen at the time. And eventually Paul put two and two together, and he realized, wait a minute, this girl is Chris Deemer's daughter. And he's like, that's pretty good. So, we got married right after college and moved to the Rochester area. I did 2 years of training out there, working under two different directors there, and then made the move to Buffalo to plant the ministry. It was just my wife and our 1-month-old son at the time, and we went out there, didn't hardly know anybody, but we just launched it. And things started out well, particularly our second year, and then after our third year, Paul stepped down as the senior pastor at Randall Baptist, and just figured, well, it's time to go find my next church. But in the meantime, he started hanging out with us, and people started saying, you're kind of good at this. You might want to think about this. And by the fall retreat that year, Paul knew he was not going to go find his next church, that he had found what was next for him. And he and I have been working together, I think, for 15 years now at UB.